Again, I'd like to simply read the petition for recall as written. The signature. I, Betty Harris Howard, resident and voter of the town of Lebanon, Maine, on behalf of the committee to recall Deborah Wilson, hereby submit a petition to recall Deborah Wilson of Lebanon from her position as Budget Committee member. Whereas Ms. Wilson has organized calendar raffles with prizes in which winners need to seek out and contact her on their winnings with no notice from her, leading winners to believe their winnings would have been kept. Whereas Ms. Wilson has publicly flaunted handfuls of cash on a number of occasions, again leaving residents wondering the accountability of said cash. Whereas Ms. Wilson publicly called the Budget Committee chairwoman a retard at a June 24th, 2021 Selectmen's meeting. Whereas Ms. Wilson continually slanders and degrades on both public social media sites as well as harassing private messages those who disagree with her on town political issues. Whereas Ms. Wilson continues to exhibit abhorrent public behavior on social media sites, attacking any residents who hold a differing opinion of herself. Whereas Ms. Wilson has proven herself unfit for public office, we, the undersigned, move to recall Deborah Wilson from the Town of Lebanon's Budget Committee.
So, my name is Deborah Wilson. I'm on the recall list for a variety of personal reasons, all of which happened outside of my scope as a budget committee member, all of which have absolutely nothing to do with my position on the budget committee, all of which, well, I'll just say I can't look at you all now because I have to look at Mr. Nass, but I can say that budget committee is not my only rodeo in town. There are plenty of people here to support me. I don't talk about what I do here in town a lot outside of my fundraising. Our fire department was literally condemned. Did I raise money for that? You're right. I see many people here who have come and volunteered their time, their labor. They've paid for your materials. Why? Because you as taxpayers have voted it down time after time after time to repair that station. So when I came to the board, and I'm speaking 5 years of coming to various boards to ask for permission to repair your station, I was told we needed a new one. And we had many selectmen who were in favor of a new station. We didn't need a new one. That station was built by the residents of this town, volunteering their time, volunteering their labor. And once this board got in and allowed me to speak in meeting, in public, on video to our insurance representative, the insurance representative told me that for years, our selectmen had been lying to me, that I'm allowed to be a volunteer in this town. And as a matter of fact, to use the words exactly, the insurance person looked at the board and said, "This is the girl you want. She's certified, and trust me, at my own expense, not at taxpayer expense, I am certified in everything I do in this town. I go and take the classes, I put in the hours, and I get my certification." The insurance company themselves upheld my volunteerism in this town. I rallied for fire department equipment. I fixed the Babe Ruth field, much to certain residents' chagrin, who don't seem to like Babe Ruth, and I'm sorry for that. It's a great organization for our kids. We have kids going for college scholarships because of their ball playing. That Babe Ruth field is looking good. Why isn't it finished? Oh, that's a big one. Why isn't it finished? Perhaps the reason is that people are seeing me tormented and they haven't finished their job yet. They're waiting and they're seeing who's going to be responsible because they don't know if I'm responsible for it. And right now they're covered as volunteers under my 501c3, which was persecuted last night at Selectmen's meeting. So I have a lot to say. I'm probably running out of time. I'm still good. Okay. I will also say we have flagpoles in town that were broken. Residents were screaming and hollering. No big deal. It's a flagpole. But you know what? My husband was a Marine. It's a big deal to me. When that flagpole can't put our flags at half mast, on Memorial Day, it's a big deal to me. So I went out and I organized a fundraiser. I'll tell you that I can show you the receipts for over $800 worth of raffle prizes to raise about $800. So could I have just come and gave that $800 and said buy the flagpole? I could have. I'm capable of doing that. My husband was a service member. It's important to me. I should have done that. But instead, what I did was I invested the community in raising that flag to half-staff on Memorial Day. Everybody, when I tell people what I do in this town, I'm accused of, on social media, of patting my own back, of tooting my own horn, of showing my selfies with fistfuls of cash. Why do I do that? Because that cash is not mine. Sorry, James. The cash is not mine. It's yours. Every dollar of it, every penny of it, every nickel of it. And I have the right to show these people how much we raise together. And I never say, this is my money I'm putting out there. See, this is how much we raise together. I tell you how much. I tell you how much I'm spending on the item that you have donated toward. And then guess what? Magically, it happens. And the magic isn't me. The magic is every one of you. The calendar raffle that I'm accused of organizing, I did organize it after the fact. It was organized by a member of our fire department who was a young lady. I never put her name out there until her mother persecuted me for taking it over. The calendar raffle was to benefit the fire department corporation, which is not the fire department, it's different. The treasurer of that corporation and the president of that corporation were frustrated. The young women, doing the best that they could, had run into, sorry, I like looking at people, had run into issues, legal issues with the state on their own doing, because they called the state to try to get direction. They were in the right direction, and the state gave them direction, and they could not manage to get things together. The president and the treasurer of that corporation asked for my help. We appeared in selectmen's meetings several times to ask if that was okay. We were given the okay by the corporation vote, by the selectmen's vote, for me to take over that raffle. And what it included was separating a 4-week raffle into 6 separate weeks, making them separate raffles because of the dollar amounts of the prizes, and offering them as 6 separate raffles. During that time, we were advised that we had to redraw the names. We had to do it publicly so that people saw who it was, because those girls, even though it was a calendar raffle, they drew all the names like before even the first day, because they didn't know. And please understand that those 2 girls did their best. I rescued a mess. We didn't even receive all the prizes from the girls. We had to go. We went to trains. I talked to several of the tree guys who all gave me $100 a piece to use in place of the raffles, and the prizes that had maybe been $30 or $40 each were replaced with a $100 bill. So we did our best, myself and the treasurer from the corporation. Also during that time, the money was taken for that raffle between October and November, and it was supposed to be drawn in December. I was not asked to take it over until March. So those prizes were there. People were calling the state. They were complaining against the fire department. The fire department, even though it was not a fire department raffle, it was a corporation raffle. Complaints were coming in, so they started to draw the prizes, and then they were asking senior citizens for their social security numbers and personal information to receive prizes. And if people didn't want to give that, at any reason, we found a way to make it happen. All the prizes, plus probably about 8 or 9 extra $100 bills that came in from various different places, were also given out as extra prizes. So That calendar raffle that I organized, I didn't organize. It was two young ladies that did their best to do something for the town and got caught up in a legal quagmire. I was asked to take it over. I did. And when I took it over in March, guess what happened? COVID hit. We weren't allowed to have face-to-face things with anybody. We were told that we had to figure out another way to give out the prizes. And I will say that Mel stepped up. We did the drawings in her facility. We gave the prizes through the takeout window at Miner's Diner. No purchase necessary. Just come and get your prize. And all the prizes but two were given out. And those two, the person said, give it to whoever needs it. And those two prizes actually did go out to people that had requested them. So that's the truth of the calendar raffle. The fistfuls of cash. If you don't want to know how much is raised at your fundraising event that you attend and you put into, recall me. As far as calling the chairman of the budget committee a retard, I did. Guilty of that. If that makes you want to recall me, that's fine. I will say that I was not acting as a budget committee member. She was not acting as the budget committee chairman. So those cases are bogus. She has come up here time and time again and said, well, I wasn't acting as budget committee or chairman or whatever. True, and she wasn't that day either, and neither was I. That my word choice was poor, as it has been several times. For that, I'm sorry. So if you want to remove me from your budget committee because of poor interactions with people who sit 5 feet from me, who ape my physical and facial disability, as can clearly be seen on the larger video that's provided by Selectmen. I'm a disabled widow of an American Marine. I'm also a member of the United States VRC. Recently only named as a member. I will be doing rehab. If your country is invaded, I'll be doing rehab. I'm also the president of your American Legion Auxiliary. And some of the fundraisers that I do are helping to fix your town hall, old town hall, that was given to the American Legion for $1 in poor shape after sitting for 15 years as other boards did nothing. This board has given it over in a vote to the American Legion, and it's being fixed. Some of the fundraising I do is for that. What are the other things I don't talk about? How close am I?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. What are the other things I do you'll never see me do? But some of the people here today have been affected by that. When your fire department comes to put out a fire at your house and the fire is out, your fire department drives away. Their job is done. My job is beginning. I come to your house, I make sure you have clothing, make sure you have food. I don't care if I have to call Crystal at 2 o'clock in the morning and have her run out with her debit card to go buy you flip-flops. You will have shoes by the time that I'm finished. Another thing I do is sit with people who have lost loved ones in traumatic ways, and then my care of them continues for days as they message me, talk to me, call me, and ask for help with many different things. I hear the snickering behind me. If you ever want to, I just hope you never need me, because I'll be there for you, and you can kick me away, but I'll be there for you too. Why was I at Eric Kelly's house? So there's a big question. I've already answered it, so I don't mind answering it again. I was there as a call from the Animal Control Agency, who called me because there was no food for the animals. And I brought a 50-pound bag of grain from my own home, from my own animals, to Eric Kelly's house to feed his animals. At my expense, I was never given back the money. Big deal, $10, Deborah, get over it. Yeah, big deal, $10. But every time I go out, it's $10 out of my pocket, it's $20 out of my pocket, it's $30 out of my pocket. And slandering people on social media. I never go on there and say, I am Budget Committee Member Deborah Wilson, and I'm going to slander you now on social media. I watch, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks, while I'm slandered, while I'm called an idiot, while I'm told I have no authority. But you know what? When people call and they need something, I go. And I don't ask questions. And you know what? If you ask questions and you don't go, shame on you. If they call you and you don't go, shame on you. And I'm just going to say, lawless Lebanon? I don't think so. But when you try to do something, when you try to get something done here in Lebanon, this is what you get. I am told repeatedly on social media, be better. But you know what? I'm not better. I'm Harrison. I'm Karina. I'm Chuck Russell. I'm Butch Lazat. I'm Crystal Adams. I'm Matt Leggett. And I'm Richard. And I'm doing the best I can. So, recall me. Because you know what? It's not going to stop me from doing what I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think it's clear that no one is asking Deborah Wilson to be recalled because of the good that she's done for the town. That's erroneous. She's not being recalled for the work of the fire department, Babe Ruth, baseball, flagpoles, American Legion, poor people, or any of the other good things that she's done, just as none of the other selectmen are being recalled for any good thing they've done. What we're asking for in the recall is because there is a tremendous lack of public character and integrity. And I think there's a misunderstanding that in any public capacity, whether as a selectman or a committee member, what you do and say publicly and on social media is a reflection of the town. Calling co-board members retard in a public board of select member demonstrates a tremendous lack of character and integrity. I also want to point out that being on someone else's property illegally because it's posted because you were asked to does not make it legal. All of these things contribute to the reputation of our town as lawless Lebanon, and I think it is in the best interest of the town for all of our officials, whether selectmen or committee members, to act with integrity and ethics and a solid character.
I heard a lot of really heart-jerking stories, and I appreciate them all. As I've said, it really has nothing to do with my spot on the budget committee, and I love all these people for coming and speaking on my behalf. I'm going to speak on my behalf. If any of these people, including this man that I don't know, who's representing Betty Harris Howard, who's against me, for some reason, which I don't know, but at any rate, this man who's against me, I've never had any interaction with. First time I ever heard his name was when he was standing in there, and I said, who the heck is that guy anyway? For like 4 meetings, we couldn't figure out who he was, to be honest with you. And now he is reading a statement and saying things against me. He doesn't even know me. I don't even know who the heck he is. I got it. I don't care, I guess is where I'm at. The budget committee is one thing I do. You want to recall me for calling the budget committee chairman a retard? Guess what? Because when you call me and recall me, I'm just off the budget committee. I'll say it 100 times. Budget committee does tend to be contentious. I'm not the only one. There are plenty of people in that budget committee who call me names constantly, who call out the selectmen, who accuse the selectmen of crimes, who say I'm stupid. I really don't care, because I know who I am, and guess what? Upstairs. He knows who I am, don't he, Richard? Sure enough. Anyway, who I am is human. Again, I'm Deborah Dory Wilson. I'm Chris Kilpatrick. Brian Wolfinger. David Salvatore. Karina Cole. I'm human. I said the word retard, I did. It's a common phrase where I grew up in Boston. Matter of fact, I hear it quite often out and about on the street. And I said, oh, hold on, did you just say that? Because it's got me in trouble. So don't say that because you'll get in trouble. The thing that was said by me toward I don't know what his name is. I don't know. He calls me Debbie, which is cute, like we're friends. No, he doesn't even know me. The thing that was said by me to his daughter, yeah, it was pretty disgusting. It also came in private messenger between two private citizens, not as somebody acting as a budget committee member, and completely antagonized by his daughter. If any of you want to know about the meth lab that exploded half the town in my cellar, I actually would like to point you to Mr. Harrison Thorpe's article in the former Lebanon Voice. Not only the article about the meth lab in my basement, how I found it, how I reported it, how I aided a single York County Sheriff's officer that was sent to my house because they thought I was kidding. He got in trouble with the person, how I helped and called for his aid. Also, there are follow-up articles in Mr. Harrison Thorpe's newspaper, which is never in print. In those articles, the district attorney was spoken to, interviewed. The district attorney credited me with breaking up not only that meth lab, two others, going to testify, standing there while I was being threatened with photographs of guns as a single woman, disabled, living in my house all alone. And the district attorney credited it with my bravery in that action. So if Mr. Nugent's 25-year-old daughter, she is no child, wants to torment me about a meth lab that somebody else had in my cellar, and she doesn't expect me to say something back to her, sorry, but I'll say the word retard again. And that's where I stand. Have a good day.